Alright, so here we are again for another episode of Cat Talks. You should read this if. Today we're going to be talking about Melissa Caruso's The Tethered Mage. Now, this is one of my favourite reads of 2019 so far. Wow, it's 2019. So The Tethered Mage is a political drama following the main characters. There is one and a bit as they learn to harness the power that they've been given. So in this world there are mages and they have powerful magics, and they're often kind of like come into being of their power when they're young. And then there are normal people. Now the mages have a certain power. So if they are a storm mage, then they can control the weather or bring storms. If they are an artificer, then they can use beads and wires to like make certain things magical. If they're an alchemist, then they can make alchemy. So they make potions or poisons. And the way that the countries decide to deal with these mages, mage children are easily identifiable. They have a ring of light in their eyes that means that they are mages. And there are many different ways that countries have decided to deal with it. The Empire, which is the city that we kind of are in for most of the first book, has decided to deal with this by tethering mages. So they have bracelets made by artificers that tether a mage like a falcon to a normal person. So they are kind of like in the army, and they're used by the army as tools. So the mage and their partner, the partner gets to release the magic or hold back the magic, and the mage obviously can do the magic. So they have to work as a pair. Now, a lot of the time they will be brother and sister or partners. In this case, they are the rich daughter of the noble house, one of the most powerful houses of the empire, who accidentally enslaves an out-of-control fire mage who has somehow managed to grow up not being captured. So she is a street child. She has managed to reach adulthood without being captured. And the main character comes like in the first chapter, don't worry, no spoilers, comes along and finds her out of control, and a falconer gives her a leash. It gives her the bracelet to capture her. The magic of the mages seems to be kind of out of their control, or can spin out of their control as it kills or destroys. It feeds itself, and then eventually the mage will pass out. So this is considered to be a good way of managing the magic, is to have this partnership. And you get the mages young because they don't know any better. Along the course of the story, and we're kind of exploring this dynamic while we're also exploring some political unrest. So it's a very political novel. The main character is, as I said, the daughter of one of the noble houses of the empire. So her mother helps the supreme ruler. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called His Magnificence. But she helps him kind of like rule, make decisions. They decide, their council that she's on decide who lives and dies, where laws should be upheld, how to manage political situations. And because of this, we often see our main character getting involved, even though she maybe doesn't want to, and kind of like gets dragged into a plot of intrigue. Melissa is an incredible writer. So if you are looking for a political thriller that stars a young, I would say young adult, new adult. If you're looking for a political thriller set in a fantasy land, so that blurring of genres, this is definitely the book for you. I recommend this to everyone I meet. I'm in love with the premise. I think that it's an incredible story. I think both main characters are very different. We don't see much of the mage, at least in the beginning. I'm trying to make sure I don't spoil it. But yes, I absolutely adore this book, and I immediately bought the sequel and the third book of the trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. Despite the fact that the third book isn't even out yet, and I definitely recommend everyone grab a copy of the first book and to see if it's for you. Now, I have heard criticism that it is quite slow and there's a lot of talking and not that much action, and I think that's because it is a political drama that, in politics you talk a lot and then you kind of make decisions and then you act, and maybe you don't reveal your full hand to everyone that's there. You maybe give partial truths or even outright lies, and it's that kind of political shenanigans going on that makes this book so intriguing. I think the way that the magic is done and the way that the multiple countries deal with their mage children in different ways is absolutely incredible. And yeah, I just adore this book. I think the plot was amazing, the ending was amazing, like it was all done absolutely beautifully, and I highly recommend it, especially if you like kind of the thrillers, the technical challenges of writing in that way. And you get to go to lots of different no, you don't. You get to go to another country and see how they're dealing with it, and they're part of the empire as well, but there is some unrest. and I think that's about all I can say without spoiling it, but I found this writing fantastic. I hope one day that I can achieve the same in my writing. Every single page I would just race through, and it is a big book and it took me a while, and I raced through that book, and yeah, I can't wait to read the sequel. I am forcing myself to wait because I have so many books on my TBR, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to learn more. I'm so excited to learn more about these two characters. Like, they are just fantastic. Alright, that's all for me. Don't forget to hit like if you like the video and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. I do AuthorTube videos on Fridays and BookTube videos like this one on Tuesdays. I do bookish content, so more reviews with a few more spoilers on Goodreads and of course on Instagram, and I also do book vlogs on Instagram as well. Alright, that is all for me. I hope you have an absolutely amazing week, and I will see you on Friday.